The vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly before the Hyperion, Earth's most advanced warship. Its obsidian hull absorbed nearby starlight, making it nearly invisible against the cosmic backdrop. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the bridge's observation deck, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display, showing the ship's revolutionary quantum neural network coming online. The Hyperion wasn't just another warship. It represented humanity's greatest achievement in military technology. Its experimental QN system allowed for unprecedented integration between human consciousness and artificial intelligence, creating a symbiotic relationship that enhanced both human intuition and machine precision. QN initialization complete, Captain, announced Dr. Marcus Rivera, the ship's chief science officer. His hands danced across the holographic interface, monitoring the complex streams of data flowing through the ship's systems. Neural sync is holding steady at 98.7%. Sarah nodded, feeling the familiar tingle of the neural connection at the base of her skull. The ship's consciousness brushed against her mind like a gentle current, sharing information and sensory data. After years of development and testing, the Hyperion was finally ready for its first deep space mission. Status report, Sarah commanded, her voice carrying across the bridge. The crew worked with practiced efficiency, their own neural links allowing them to interface directly with their stations. Lieutenant Kai Zhang, the tactical officer, responded first. All weapons systems online. Shield harmonics are stable. The new phase shift technology is ready for testing. His fingers traced patterns in the air, adjusting weapon configurations through mental commands. Engineering reports all systems nominal, added Commander Diana Patel, her dark hair streaked with silver. The quantum core is performing better than expected. We're operating at 112% of projected capacity. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The Hyperion represented humanity's response to first contact, a contact that had nearly ended in extinction. 10 years ago, the Zrylek Empire had appeared in Earth's solar system, their biological ships as vast as cities. They had expected an easy conquest, another primitive species to add to their collection. Instead, they found humanity's stubborn refusal to submit. The war that followed had pushed human innovation to its limits, while the Zrylek relied on organic technology that evolved over millennia. Humanity countered with rapid technological advancement, combining artificial intelligence with human consciousness in ways the aliens had never imagined. The ship's AI suddenly pulsed in Sarah's mind, a warning sensation that preceded the actual alarm by milliseconds. Multiple quantum signatures detected, announced Lieutenant Zhang, his voice tense. Configuration matches Zrylek scout vessels. They're using some kind of cloaking technology we haven't seen before. Sarah's mind merged deeper with the ship's systems, expanding her awareness into space. Through the QNN, she could feel the subtle distortions in spacetime that betrayed the presence of cloaked vessels. The Hyperion's sensors, enhanced by human intuition, picked up what conventional systems would have missed. 3 vessels, attack formation Delta, Sarah announced, the information flowing directly from the ship's consciousness to her mind. They don't know we can see them. Ready phase shift drives and prepare main weapons, but hold position. Let's see what they're up to. The bridge crew worked in silent efficiency, their thoughts flowing through the QNN in a complex dance of human and machine intelligence. The Hyperion systems adapted and evolved in real time, learning from the collective experience of its crew. Through the neural link, Sarah felt the enemy ship's approach like phantom touches on her skin. The Zrylek vessels moved with organic grace, their biomechanical forms rippling through space. They were beautiful in their alien way, but Sarah had seen too many worlds fall to their evolution through conquest philosophy to appreciate that beauty. They're scanning us, Dr. Rivera reported, his consciousness filtering through the ship's sensors. Their biosignatures indicate increased neural activity. They're preparing to attack. Sarah straightened in her command chair, feeling the ship's excitement mirror her own. The Hyperion had been built for this moment. to prove that human innovation could match and exceed alien biological evolution. "All hands, battle stations," she commanded, her voice calm but filled with purpose. "Let's show them why humanity survived their first invasion. Engage quantum shields and ready the phase cannons. It's time to test everything we've built." The Hyperion's systems hummed with power, its hybrid consciousness fully awakened. As the Zrylak ships dropped their cloaking fields and prepared to attack, they faced something they had never encountered in their millennia of conquest: a perfect fusion of human determination and artificial intelligence, ready to defend not just humanity, but the very concept of free will against biological tyranny. The battle that would reshape the galaxy was about to begin, and the Hyperion was ready to show why even the mightiest alien fleets would learn to fear human ingenuity. Space erupted in a dazzling display of quantum energy as the Hyperion's phase cannons fired their first salvo. The Zrylak scouts, caught off guard by the human ship's ability to detect them, scattered in 3 different directions. Their organic hulls pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, broadcasting warnings to any nearby forces. Captain Chen felt the battle through the quantum neural network, experiencing each movement of the Hyperion as if it were an extension of her own body. The ship's AI processed combat data in microseconds, merging tactical analysis with her decades of combat experience. Multiple quantum ruptures detected. Lieutenant Zhang's voice carried an edge of concern. Large-scale Zrylak fleet incoming, reading at least 20 biomechanical dreadnoughts. The space around them twisted as massive Zrylak warships emerged from quantum space. Their biological vessels resembled giant nautiluses, shells made of living metal protecting the neural cores within. Each ship was the product of millennia of guided evolution, grown rather than built. "They planned this," Commander Patel observed, her consciousness flowing through the ship's engineering systems. "Those scouts were bait to test our capabilities." Sarah allowed herself a grim smile. "Then let's show them exactly what they're dealing with. All hands, prepare for full neural synchronization." Dr. Rivera initialized the quantum fold protocol. The crew's minds merged deeper with the Hyperion's AI, their collective consciousness expanding through the ship's systems. The quantum core pulsed with energy as it drew power from multiple dimensions, feeding it into the experimental weapons and defensive systems. The first Zrylak attack came in waves of biological torpedoes, living weapons that adapted their attack patterns based on defensive responses. But the Hyperion's hybrid consciousness was faster, its quantum shields shifting frequency and position before the torpedoes could adjust. "Phase cannons, full spread," Sarah commanded, her thoughts becoming instant action through the neural link. "Target their evolutionary nodes. Don't let them adapt to our attack pattern." Streams of quantum energy lanced out from the Hyperion's weapon arrays, each shot guided by the combined precision of artificial intelligence and human intuition. The beams struck the Zrylak ships at their weakest points, disrupting the biological processes that allowed them to evolve during battle. The alien fleet responded with overwhelming force. Dozens of energy tentacles lashed out from their ships, trying to entangle the Hyperion in a web of destructive power. Through the neural link, Sarah felt her crew's focused determination as they faced odds that would have been impossible for any conventional vessel. "Quantum fold executing now," Dr. Rivera announced. The space around the Hyperion rippled as the ship's revolutionary drive system activated. Instead of trying to move through space, the Hyperion folded space itself, appearing simultaneously in multiple locations. The Zrylak fleet's attacks passed through quantum echoes, while the real Hyperion struck from constantly shifting positions. Each shot from their phase cannons was multiplied across probability space, overwhelming the aliens' adaptive defenses. "Their flagship is altering its biological structure," Zhang reported, monitoring the enemy's responses. "They're trying to evolve countermeasures against our quantum technology." Sarah's mind reached deeper into the Hyperion systems. "That's exactly what we wanted them to do." Dr. Rivera, initiate Protocol Omega. The quantum core surged with power as the Hyperion executed its masterstroke. The ship's AI had been collecting data on every adaptation the Zrylak vessels made, analyzing their evolutionary patterns. Now it turned that analysis against them. Focused beams of quantum energy struck the alien ships, carrying carefully coded sequences of information. The beams didn't target the ship's weapons or defenses. They targeted the very genetic commands that control their evolution. The effect was devastating. The Zrylak vessels began to lose coherence as their biological systems received contradictory evolutionary imperatives. Ships that had taken millennia to grow and evolve were being undone by humanity's understanding of their fundamental nature. Multiple enemy ships losing structural integrity, Zhang reported, his voice tight with controlled excitement. Their neural cores are going into cascade failure. The Zrylak fleet began to retreat, their remaining ships struggling to maintain their form as the quantum virus corrupted their biological programming. But Sarah knew this was only the beginning. Through the neural link, she could feel the ship's AI analyzing the battle data, learning and evolving in ways the Zrylak had never imagined possible. Secure from battle stations, she ordered, though she maintained her deep connection to the ship's systems, begin analysis of all combat data. I want to know everything we learned about their capabilities. As the crew worked to document their first major victory, Sarah reflected on what they had achieved. The Hyperion had proved that humanity's approach to technology, the merger of human consciousness with artificial intelligence, could overcome even the most advanced biological evolution. But in the quantum echoes of battle, she had sensed something else. The Zrylak weren't just fighting for conquest anymore. There was a desperation in their attacks, as if they were running from something even they feared. Something that made their attempt to absorb humanity seem like an act of preservation rather than pure aggression. The Hyperion had won its first battle, but Sarah Chen knew deep in her quantum-linked mind that this was just the beginning of a much larger story. Humanity had proven itself a force to be reckoned with, but the true test still lay ahead in the depths of unexplored space. 3 days into their pursuit of the retreating Zrylak fleet, the Hyperion detected something that changed everything. Deep in the quantum wake of the alien vessels, Dr. Rivera discovered patterns that defied conventional physics. "Captain, you need to see this," he called, his consciousness streaming the data directly through the neural network. The quantum signatures left by the Zrylak ships weren't just propulsion traces. They contained embedded information, like DNA strands written in spacetime itself. Sarah Chen stood at the quantum analysis station, her mind merged with the ship's sensors. Through the neural link, she could see the complex patterns hiding in the void. They're leaving these trails deliberately, she realized. But why? Commander Patel joined them, her engineering expertise adding another layer of understanding to the analysis. These patterns, they're not just information. They're warnings. Her consciousness interfaced with the ship's translation matrices, decoding fragments of the alien data. The Hyperion's AI processed the information, combining it with everything they had learned about the Zrylak during their previous encounter. Through the neural network, the crew shared a collective realization. The Zrylak weren't simply retreating. They were leading them somewhere. Multiple quantum ruptures ahead, Lieutenant Zhang announced suddenly. But these signatures, they're not Zrylak. They're something else entirely. The space before them tore open, revealing shapes that challenged human comprehension. Where Zrylak ships were biological and almost familiar in their organic design, these new vessels seemed to bend reality around them. They existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, their forms shifting between states of matter. "Defensive positions," Sarah ordered, feeling the ship's combat systems come alive through the neural link. "But hold fire unless fired upon. Let's see what we're dealing with." The alien ships made no aggressive moves. Instead, they transmitted a signal directly into the Hyperion's quantum core, not a communication, but a pure stream of consciousness. The ship's AI filtered it through human perception, translating alien thoughts into understanding. They called themselves the Nexus, and they had been watching humanity's battle against the Zrylak with great interest. Through the quantum link, they shared images of countless civilizations across the galaxy, all facing the same threat. Not the Zrylak, but something far worse. "They're showing us the truth," Dr. Rivera whispered, his mind processing the stream of alien knowledge. "The Zrylak aren't conquerors. They're running. Absorbing species isn't about conquest. It's about preservation." The images continued, showing a darkness spreading between the stars. Something was consuming space itself, breaking down the barriers between dimensions. The Zrylak's biological evolution was their attempt to become strong enough to face this threat. Their aggression toward other species was driven by a desperate need to collect and preserve all forms of life before it was too late. "That's why they fear us," Sarah realized, the pieces falling into place. "We did in decades what took them millennia. Our combination of human consciousness and artificial intelligence. It's something entirely new." The Nexus consciousness confirmed her understanding. They had been guiding the Zrylak, trying to prepare the galaxy for what was coming. But time was running out. The void between dimensions was growing thinner, and what lay beyond was awakening. Through the neural link, Sarah felt her crew's mixed reactions: fear at the scale of the threat, determination to face it, and hope that humanity's unique approach might offer a solution that had eluded even the ancient Nexus. "We need to find the remaining Zrylak ships," she decided, "not to destroy them, but to understand them. If we're going to face this threat, we need to combine their biological evolution with our technological innovation." The Hyperion's AI processed this new mission, adapting its protocols. The quantum core hummed as it recalibrated their sensors, now searching not just for Zrylak signatures, but for signs of dimensional instability. "Multiple contacts," John reported. "The Zrylak fleet we were chasing. They're holding position at the edge of a quantum anomaly. They're waiting for us." Sarah nodded, feeling the weight of what they had learned settle over the neural network. The hunt had become something more, a race to save not just humanity, but all life in the galaxy. The Hyperion had proven itself against the Zrylak, but the true test would be uniting with their former enemies to face a threat beyond comprehension. "Set course for their position," she ordered, "and prepare for quantum consciousness integration. If we're going to communicate with them, we need to do it on a level they'll understand." As the Hyperion moved through space, its hybrid consciousness evolving with each moment, Sarah Chen knew they had stumbled onto something far larger than the conflict between humans and Zrylak. They were about to attempt something unprecedented: the merger of biological and technological evolution, guided by human determination and creativity. The hunt had led them to a turning point in galactic history, and humanity's unique perspective might be the key to facing what lay ahead in the darkness between dimensions. The quantum anomaly loomed before the Hyperion like a wound in reality itself. Through the neural network, the crew could sense the wrongness of it, a void that shouldn't exist, spreading its tendrils through multiple dimensions. The Zrylak fleet held position nearby, their biological ships pulsing with patterns that the Hyperion's AI now recognized as signs of extreme stress. "Ready for consciousness integration," Dr. Rivera announced, his hands moving through holographic displays as he prepared the ship's systems. "But Captain, we've never attempted synchronization with alien minds before." "The risks are necessary," Sarah completed, her voice firm. "We either find a way to work together, or we all face extinction." Through the neural link, she could feel her crew's tension, their determination, and their trust in her decision. Commander Patel monitored the quantum core's output. "Power level stable. The AI is ready to act as a bridge between our consciousness and their biological neural networks." The Hyperion initiated contact, broadcasting quantum patterns that mimicked the Zrylak's own biological signals. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the alien fleet responded, their ship's neural cores reaching out to connect with the human vessel's hybrid consciousness. The merger was overwhelming. Alien thoughts flooded through the neural network, not just from the Zrylak ships, but from thousands of absorbed species within their collective consciousness. The Hyperion's AI struggled to translate the torrent of information into something the human crew could process. Through the chaos, Sarah forced herself to focus. "Show us," she projected through the link. "Show us what you're running from." The response came in a wave of shared memory. The crew witnessed through alien eyes as the darkness between dimensions first appeared, consuming entire star systems. They felt the Zrilek's desperate race to evolve defenses, their frantic efforts to preserve species by absorbing them into their collective consciousness. But something else emerged from the flood of alien thoughts: hope. The Zrilek had recognized in humanity's quantum technology a potential they had never achieved through biological evolution alone. The merger of human consciousness with artificial intelligence represented a new path, one that might succeed where both organic and technological evolution had failed separately. The moment of understanding was shattered by proximity alarms, multiple breaches forming. Lieutenant Zhang's warning cut through the shared consciousness. The anomaly is expanding. Through the neural link, Sarah saw it happening. The void was tearing open, revealing glimpses of something vast and impossible. The darkness between dimensions had found them, and it was hungry. "All ships, battle formation," Sarah commanded, her thoughts reaching both her crew and the Zrilek fleet. The alien vessels responded instantly, forming up alongside the Hyperion in a display of unity that would have been unthinkable days before. The first attack came not as weapons fire, but as a corruption of reality itself. Space began to unravel around them, fundamental forces twisting into new and deadly configurations. The Hyperion's quantum shield strained against forces they were never designed to resist. "Shield harmonics failing," Paddle reported, her consciousness deep in the engineering systems. "The quantum core can't maintain stability against these distortions." Through their shared neural link, the Zrilek offered a solution. Their biological technology could adapt to the dimensional corruption, but they needed power, more power than their evolution could generate. The Hyperion's quantum core could provide that energy if they were willing to risk everything on an untested merger of their technologies. "Do it," Sarah ordered, feeling her crew's agreement through the neural network. "Full power to the quantum core. Initiate complete consciousness integration with the Zrilek fleet." The Hyperion systems merged with the alien vessels, human consciousness flowing through biological neural networks, while artificial intelligence guided the exchange. The ship's quantum core pulsed with impossible energy as it fed power into the Zrilek's adaptive biological systems. Reality itself seemed to hold its breath as human and alien technology worked in concert for the first time. The Zrilek ships began to change, their organic hulls incorporating quantum patterns, while the Hyperion systems adopted principles of biological adaptation. When the void attacked again, they were ready. The combined fleet responded as one organism, their merged consciousness directing attacks that existed simultaneously in multiple dimensions. Human creativity and determination flowed through alien biological systems, guided by artificial intelligence that evolved in real time. The battle pushed both species to their breaking point and beyond. The void consumed two Zrilek ships entirely, their consciousness barely escaping into the shared neural network. The Hyperion's quantum core operated at levels that should have been impossible, its hybrid systems reinventing themselves with each passing moment. But they held. Human and alien, biological and technological, all working together to hold back the darkness between dimensions. Through their shared consciousness, they discovered something unexpected. The void could be wounded. It could be fought. And perhaps, with their combined strength, it could be defeated. As the anomaly finally began to recede, Sarah felt something new in the neural network. Not just alliance or cooperation, but true synthesis. Humanity and Zrilek, along with all the species preserved in their collective consciousness, had discovered a new path forward. Together, they had reached their breaking point and emerged stronger. The battle was over, but the war was just beginning. The void would return, but when it did, it would face something unprecedented in the galaxy's history: the combined strength of human innovation and alien evolution, united in defense of all life. 1 month after their first successful defense against the void, the Hyperion floated in high orbit above Earth, its quantum-enhanced hull now bearing traces of Zrylak biological technology. In the ship's newly modified bridge, Captain Sarah Chen stood before representatives from both species, her consciousness linked to both human and alien minds through the evolved neural network. The nexus had been right. Humanity's unique approach to technology had been the key. But not in the way anyone had expected. Through the quantum core's displays, Sarah watched as Dr. Rivera presented their discovery to the assembled leaders. The void isn't just a natural phenomenon, he explained, his thoughts flowing through the shared consciousness. It's a remnant of the universe's creation, a place where reality itself was still taking shape. Our combined technologies have allowed us to understand its true nature. The Zrylak supreme consciousness, manifesting as a shifting pattern of bioluminescence, added its own understanding through the neural link. They had spent millennia trying to evolve defenses against the void, never realizing that the key wasn't to fight it, but to reshape it. Commander Patel brought up a holographic display of their combined fleet's new capabilities. The Hyperion had been the prototype, but now dozens of ships, both human and Zrylak, had been modified with the hybrid technology. Each vessel was a perfect fusion of quantum engineering and biological adaptation, guided by the merged consciousness of both species. The void responds to consciousness itself, Sarah explained to the assembled leaders. That's why the Zrylak strategy of preserving species through absorption was partially effective. Each unique consciousness added new patterns of thought, new ways of perceiving reality. Lieutenant Zhang activated a recording of their latest encounter with the dimensional anomalies. The combined fleet wasn't just fighting the void. They were communicating with it, using their merged consciousness to impose patterns of stable reality on the chaotic space between dimensions. The Nexus representatives, their multi-dimensional forms shimmering with interest, shared their own ancient records through the neural network. They had watched countless civilizations fall to the void, each trying to face it alone. But humanity's instinct for cooperation, for finding strength in unity rather than conquest, had changed everything. We're not just defending against the void, Sarah continued, feeling the weight of the moment through the shared consciousness. We're teaching it. Every mind in our collective consciousness, human, Zrylak, and all the preserved species, adds to the pattern we're creating. We're showing the void what reality should be. Through the quantum displays, they watched as the latest data came in from monitoring stations throughout the galaxy. The void was changing, its chaotic nature beginning to adopt the patterns they projected. Areas that had been consumed were re-emerging, transformed but stable. The Zrylak supreme consciousness shared images of worlds they had thought lost forever, now returning to normal space. But they weren't exactly as they had been before. Like the hybrid ships that now protected the galaxy, these restored regions were something new, a perfect fusion of multiple dimensional states, guided by the combined wisdom of all conscious life. This is what we were meant to find, Sarah said, her voice carrying the conviction of both human determination and alien understanding. Not conquest, not mere survival, but true emergence. Every species contributes something unique to the pattern. Every consciousness adds its own harmony to the symphony we're creating. The Hyperion's quantum core pulsed with power as it processed the combined thoughts of all present. Through the neural network, Sarah felt the agreement of both human and alien leaders. The void had been a test, pushing life in the galaxy to move beyond conflict and competition, to find strength in unity and diversity. We're receiving signals from the outer rim, Zhang announced suddenly. More void incursions, but they're different. The patterns we established are holding. Reality is stabilizing itself using our template. The assembled leaders watched through shared consciousness as the process they had begun spread across the galaxy. The void was no longer a threat to be fought, but a canvas on which the combined consciousness of all species could write a new future. Human innovation, Zrylak evolution, and the ancient wisdom of the Nexus had come together to achieve something greater than any could have managed alone. Sarah felt the pride and hope flowing through the neural network, not just from her human crew, but from every consciousness linked to their hybrid systems. They had faced extinction and emerged stronger, not through dominance, but through unity. The galaxy was entering a new age, one where the boundaries between species, between biological and technological evolution, between consciousness and reality itself, were giving way to something far more profound. The Hyperion had started as humanity's greatest warship, built to defend Earth against alien threats. Now it had become something else, a symbol of what was possible when different species chose to face the darkness together. As Sarah looked out at the assembled leaders, she knew that this wasn't an ending, but a beginning. The true emergence of life in the galaxy was just beginning, and humanity would help guide the way forward, not as conquerors or defenders, but as teachers and unifiers in the cosmic dance of consciousness.